As a physician who has dedicated over 30 years to caring for seniors, I've come to understand a simple truth that many find hard to believe. Something as straightforward as 4 specific dried fruits, easily found at any local grocery store, can play a significant role in protecting and even restoring your aging eyes while you sleep. I know it sounds almost too easy to be true, but please hear me out. Throughout my career, I've had countless conversations with patients, and one profound struggle comes up over and over again. It's truly heartbreaking to witness. When did you first notice your vision was starting to fade? Was it not being able to drive at night with the same confidence you once had? Do you find yourself holding a book or a newspaper further and further away just to make out the words? Or perhaps you've experienced that painful moment of not quite being able to recognize a loved one's face from across the room. Many of my patients have told me it feels like someone is gradually dimming the lights on their world. Others describe a persistent blurriness or a constant stinging and burning sensation that begins long before the day is done. And the most insidious part is how slowly it creeps in. You often don't realize how much of your independence has been stolen until it's already gone. But here's the crucial point I want you to understand. This isn't just an unavoidable consequence of getting older. A great deal of this decline is the result of years of cumulative oxidative stress inflammation and a chronic lack of the key nutrients your eyes need to repair themselves every single night. And that's precisely why the right foods can make such a profound difference, even now. Today, I'm going to walk you through 4 dried fruits that provide your eyes with exactly what they need to stay resilient and sharp. Each one offers a unique and distinct benefit, and the final one I'll discuss is, in my professional experience, the most powerful of them all. If this sounds like it could be helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss my upcoming health tips. Now let's start with the first dried fruit on our list. Figs. Figs. Nourishing your night vision. Let's begin with something ancient and naturally sweet. Figs. You may know them for their unique texture and rich flavor, but from a medical perspective, they are far more than just a snack. Figs are packed with essential nutrients for eye support. When you eat them the right way, they can help restore the sharpness and vibrancy you may have thought were gone for good. Figs are a rich source of vitamin A and its plant-based precursors, such as beta-carotene and lutein, which are both absolutely critical for the health of your retina and the clear surface of your eyes. Have you ever struggled with night blindness or a feeling that it takes a long time for your eyes to adjust to low light? Vitamin A deficiency is one of the most common causes of preventable night blindness in older adults, and figs offer a natural and gentle way to replenish these stores. They are also full of powerful plant antioxidants called polyphenols, including quercetin rutin and chlorogenic acid, which help protect the delicate photoreceptor cells in your eyes from oxidative stress. According to a review in the Journal of Food Science and Technology, these antioxidants have been linked to improved blood flow in the tiny vessels behind your eyes, a key factor for maintaining good night vision. Here's the part most people don't realize. The natural sugars in figs can actually help your body absorb certain fat-soluble antioxidants when they're paired with a small amount of healthy fat, like a few almonds or a spoonful of almond butter. This is why I often advise my patients to have 2 or 3 dried figs in the evening, along with a small amount of protein or a healthy fat source about an hour before they go to sleep. It provides your body with the fuel it needs for the natural repair cycle that your eyes undergo at night. I'll never forget one of my patients, Harold, who was 72. He came into my office and said, "Doctor, Porter, the stars are gone." He wasn't speaking metaphorically. His night vision had deteriorated so much that he could no longer see the constellations he had always loved. We added a small serving of figs to his evening routine, along with a handful of walnuts. 4 weeks later, he returned with a wide smile on his face. "They're back," he said. "I can see the Big Dipper again." It wasn't a miraculous cure. By providing his eyes with the missing nutrients, Harold helped support the regeneration of the light-sensitive cells that allow for dim light vision. This process continued to work quietly, night after night, while he slept. Figs are simple, delicious, and for many, they are the first step toward seeing the world more clearly again. Dates, soothing dryness, and irritation. Next, let's look at another sweet, chewy fruit that not only supports your vision, but also helps to soothe the dryness and burning that can make reading such a chore. That's the date. Beyond their rich sweetness, dates contain nutrients that can help comfort tired, irritated eyes, especially the kind of dryness and burning that makes reading or watching TV so uncomfortable. Have you ever felt that stinging sensation in your eyes after just a few minutes of screen time? One of the key nutrients in dates is vitamin B6, which supports the production of neurotransmitters involved in healthy nerve function, including the optic nerve that carries signals from your eyes to your brain. Dates also contain significant amounts of potassium and magnesium minerals that help regulate the tiny muscles in your eyes responsible for focusing. But what truly sets dates apart for eye health is their surprisingly rich concentration of polyphenols and carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin. These powerful plant pigments accumulate in the macula, the central part of your retina, where they act like internal sunglasses, filtering out harmful blue light and reducing oxidative damage. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science noted that a higher intake of these carotenoids is associated with a lower risk of age-related macular degeneration. Despite being dried, dates are also naturally hydrating because they retain a high content of natural sugars bound with water and soluble fiber, which helps your body hold on to fluids. For a patient with chronic dry eye, that extra hydration can make a noticeable difference, especially when eaten in the evening. It supports the tear film that keeps your eyes comfortable overnight. I once treated Martha, a 68-year-old retired librarian. She loved to read in the evenings, but her eyes would start to sting after just 10 minutes, forcing her to stop. Eye drops gave her only temporary relief. I suggested she try 2 dates about an hour before bed, paired with a small handful of pumpkin seeds for added zinc, a mineral that helps vitamin A reach the retina. 3 weeks later, she called me thrilled. "I just finished my first novel in years without stopping to rest my eyes," she said. "And they didn't feel like sandpaper afterward." It wasn't an instant solution, but by nourishing her eyes from the inside out, she found the comfort she had been missing. Dates are sweet and convenient, and when used thoughtfully, they can be a simple nightly ritual that helps restore not only your comfort, but also the small joys you thought you had to give up. Raisins. Shielding your retina. Next, we'll turn to something smaller in size, but mighty in protection. The humble raisin. These tiny, naturally sweet gems may seem too unassuming to make a real difference. But inside each one is a concentrated source of compounds that can help shield your eyes from the slow, silent damage of aging. Nutritionally, raisins are packed with polyphenolic antioxidants like quercetin resveratrol and catechins. These compounds act as your body's cleanup crew, neutralizing the free radicals that accumulate in the retina from daily exposure to sunlight pollution and normal metabolic processes. Left unchecked, those free radicals can damage the photoreceptor cells that allow you to see fine details and distinguish vibrant colors. Have you noticed a decline in your ability to see fine print or distinguish colors as vividly as you used to? Raisins also provide a healthy dose of lutein and zeaxanthin, the same yellow-orange pigments found in leafy greens and egg yolks. These carotenoids are stored in the macula, where they function like internal sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and reducing glare. This is a benefit that's especially valuable for older adults struggling with headlight sensitivity while driving at night. And here's something most people don't realize. Raisins are one of the richest dried fruit sources of boron, a trace mineral that is not only linked to improved bone density, but is also critical for eye health. Research published in Nutrients suggests that boron helps regulate the metabolism of calcium and magnesium minerals involved in the function of ocular muscles and nerve signaling. Healthy eye muscles mean less strain when shifting focus between near and far objects. Do you find your eyes tiring quickly when you're trying to shift your focus from a screen to something in the distance? Because raisins are naturally sweet, they deliver a slow, steady release of energy thanks to their soluble fiber. That's important for blood sugar stability overnight, as fluctuating blood sugar can temporarily change the shape of the lens in your eye, leading to episodes of blurry vision. Steadier blood sugar means steadier vision. One of my patients, Eleanor, a 75-year-old retired seamstress, had stopped quilting in the evenings because her stitches would blur together. I suggested a small handful of raisins with a few walnuts in the late afternoon. The healthy fats from the nuts help absorb the fat-soluble carotenoids in the raisins, and within a few weeks, she noticed her evening vision was sharper and less strained. For most people, just 2 tablespoons of raisins a few times a week, paired with a small amount of healthy fat, can be enough to start delivering these protective compounds to your eyes. They are portable, inexpensive, and don't require refrigeration, making them one of the easiest vision-friendly foods to incorporate into your daily routine. Dried apricots, restoring clarity and reducing glare. Next, we'll turn to a fruit with a warm golden orange color rich in the very compounds your retina craves most, and one that could make night driving far less stressful. I'm talking about dried apricots. With their vibrant color and soft, tangy sweetness dried, apricots are one of the richest natural sources of the exact compounds your eyes need to stay healthy and strong. That golden orange hue comes from beta-carotene, a plant pigment your body converts into vitamin A. This nutrient is essential for producing rhodopsin, the light-sensitive protein in your retina that allows you to see in low-light conditions. Without enough vitamin A, the regeneration of rhodopsin slows, making it much harder to see at night and to adjust from bright to dim light. Have you found yourself hesitating to drive at night because the glare from headlights is simply too much to handle? Dried apricots also contain lutein and zeaxanthin carotenoids that accumulate in the macula. There, they help filter harmful blue light and reduce oxidative stress, both major contributors to age-related macular degeneration (AMD). Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has found that diets higher in these carotenoids are associated with a significantly lower risk of AMD progression. Another often overlooked benefit of dried apricots is their potassium content. Potassium helps maintain proper fluid balance inside the cells of your eyes, which is crucial for keeping the cornea clear and the intraocular pressure stable. Elevated eye pressure is a risk factor for glaucoma, a leading cause of irreversible vision loss. By supporting healthy fluid regulation, potassium plays a quiet but important protective role. Because dried apricots are also high in soluble fiber, they contribute to better blood sugar control. Stable blood sugar levels help prevent microvascular damage in the retina, which is particularly important for people with diabetes or pre-diabetes. One of my patients, Robert, age 70, had avoided driving at night for years because the glare from headlights was overwhelming. We added 3 dried apricots to his mid-evening snack, paired with a small piece of dark chocolate for extra flavonoids. Within 6 weeks, he reported something simple but life-changing. "I drove home after dinner last night and the glare didn't stop me." His confidence came back along with his clarity. For most adults, enjoying 3 to 4 dried apricots several times a week, ideally with a small amount of healthy fat, can help deliver these eye-nourishing carotenoids right where they're needed most. A simple plan for tonight. We've just discussed 4 dried fruits that can each play a unique role in protecting and even helping to repair your vision. Figs, dates, raisins, and dried apricots. Now let's put them together into a simple no-fuss plan you can start using tonight. First, let me be very clear. You don't need large amounts of these foods to get the benefits. In fact, with dried fruits, more is not always better due to their natural sugar content. The key is consistency and smart combinations that help your body absorb the nutrients efficiently. Here's what I often recommend to my patients. In the evening, prepare a small eye snack by combining 2 or 3 figs, 1 or 2 dates, about 2 tablespoons of raisins, and 3 or 4 dried apricots. Pair this mix with a small handful of raw nuts or seeds, such as almonds, walnuts, or sunflower seeds. The healthy fats in the nuts help your body absorb the fat-soluble nutrients like beta-carotene lutein and zeaxanthin from the dried fruits. Timing matters. I suggest having this snack about an hour before you go to bed. That way, as your body shifts into its natural overnight repair mode, those eye-supporting antioxidants, carotenoids, and minerals are already circulating in your system, ready to nourish your retinal cells and protect your optic nerve. It's also important to stay hydrated. Always drink a glass of water with your dried fruits. This helps the soluble fiber aid digestion and maintains good hydration, a small but important factor for keeping your eyes comfortable. You don't have to eat all 4 fruits every single day. You can rotate them if you prefer, for example, figs and raisins one night, dates and apricots the next, but aim to have each of them at least 3 to 4 times a week. If you spend a lot of time in front of screens or under artificial lighting, consider pairing your evening snack with a short eye rest. This can be as simple as closing your eyes in a darkened room or using a warm compress for about 10 minutes. It's a gentle way to let your eyes fully relax while the nutrients do their work. This plan is simple, affordable, and fits into almost any lifestyle. It's not about replacing your meals or taking handfuls of pills. It's about using whole natural foods to feed one of your most precious senses. In the final part of this video, I'll share a closing message to remind you why your eyes are worth every bit of care you can give them and why it's never too late to start seeing more clearly again. We've covered a lot today, and I hope you can see just how simple yet powerful it can be to give your eyes what they truly need. Figs, dates, raisins, and dried apricots may be ordinary foods, but when you enjoy them consistently and in the right way, they can help protect the vision you have and even support the natural repair process that happens while you sleep. It's important to remember that losing your vision isn't an inevitable part of getting older. Yes, our eyes change with age, but with the right nourishment, they can stay sharper, clearer, and more comfortable for years to come. Whether it's reading your favorite book without strain, driving confidently at night, or simply looking into the eyes of someone you love and seeing every detail, these are moments worth protecting. If there's one message I want you to take away, it's this: it's never too late to start. Every small step you take today is an investment in the life you want to see tomorrow. You're not alone in this journey, and there is always hope for improvement. Thank you for spending this time with me and for taking your health seriously. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who might benefit, and leave a comment below to tell me which of these 4 dried fruits you're most excited to try. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next science-backed natural health tip that could change your life. Your vision matters, and so do you. Now go enjoy that snack tonight and give your eyes the gift they deserve.